Here I am,
Hey,
sir. Here I am.
can I call you Mr. Mindful Storytelling?
You certainly can. Let me just fix my phone. Yeah. It's the
Wonderful.
mindful storyteller here.
How are you today?
I'm really well. I'm really well. How are you doing?
Great, great. I'm loving 2020 right now.
Oh, 2020 is just ace, man. I mean, the fireworks are already going off outside, so you'll have to excuse the mini explosions you might hear coming
Okay,
through.
okay, okay. I won't blame you. It's the fireworks.
They're celebrating prematurely.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about timing. You've done it 2 hours too early.
Well, it's fine. I mean, it's 2021 somewhere, isn't it?
That's true, actually. Yeah, yeah, it is actually. Not sure. Where would it be 2 hours ahead? Would it be Germany? Maybe
Well,
Germany. I think Germany's 2 hours ahead of us.
certainly there are a couple of European states are at least an hour. I think Portugal, Austria,
Yeah.
don't know them all, but yeah. So
Okay. Well, Happy New Year to the people in France.
France. No,
Is it Happy New Year now? I
no.
think
I think it's 11 o'clock there, 11 p.m.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's 11. Well, Happy New Year to anyone
in 1 hour. There
who's
you go.
celebrating it now. And thank you so much
Oh,
for
Germany's only an hour ahead, says Annabelle. Oh, thank good.
Oh my god.
Well, gotta
I
clear
thought they
that.
were way ahead of us, but they're only an hour.
Only in technology.
Okay. So thank you so much, Calvin, for giving your time to share. Calvin specializes in helping people to share their story, and is also kind of sharing about this concept of mindful storytelling. So I really appreciate you sharing that, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, thank you again, and for some of the wonderful speakers that I heard beforehand. And I appreciate, and I'm sure a lot of you have already said that, being part of this community, being able to contribute to the community as well as participate. And I, I was actually thinking about community and the origin of the word, community, and I was looking into the Latin origin, communitatis, right? And what does that actually mean when you break it down, right? It's quite fascinating. So the com is with or together. The muni is change or exchange that links. And the tatus is intimate or local. So these things, I think, when we bring them together, when they're combined, it really represents something quite beautiful. What we're experiencing right now, which is this exchange that binds us together, bringing that togetherness in a really intimate way. And I'm really, really pleased, of course, to be seeing 2021 in with you guys. And it reminds me of the African proverb that is quite a popular one, that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, then go together. So I'm really, really pleased and happy and delighted to be going into 2021 together with you. And I hope during the course of 2021, of course, that I will grow with you as well. So I'm going to talk today about listening to ourselves, because I see listening to ourselves as being indistinct from being able to listen to other people. And in our communities, as we move forward into 2021, we got an opportunity to refresh that, to remind ourselves to listen more, to listen deeper. And I want to actually lead us in a meditation for that purpose, which will, of course, follow this talk. So, if you believe what some of the numbers are out there, by the time I woke up today, it's what, 4 minutes past 10 in London. I've already had over 50,000 thoughts, supposedly. And Psychology Today talks about Daniel Gilbert's work. He's the author of Stumbling on Happiness. And, he thinks that maybe up to 50% of the average person is in sort of mind wandering or mindlessness, right? So that basically means that I've already wasted 25,000 thoughts today on absolute nothing, on absolute garbage, right? But what does that really mean contextually in terms of listening to ourselves? I think there is something really powerful about being able to not just listen, not even just hear. Let's make the distinction between hearing the sound hitting the eardrum, and the unconscious registration of that sound, but also listening, which is that intentional attention that we place on interpreting that sound. But listening deeper, and especially the connectedness, as we're talking about community earlier on, that connectedness that comes with listening, right? Casting my mind back to a story I heard, I don't know, 10 years plus, from a National Geographic photographer. He was spending some time in the Amazon, and he was really acquainting himself with an Amazonian tribe. So one night they were going out to find this herb. There's a particular plant that they only could find at night and during full moon. Now, I mean, not dissimilar to now. I mean, we just finished full moon in London a day and a half ago. So off they go, walking through this jungle under the basking moonlight. And as they're sort of like traipsing through the jungle and through the bush, this guy's following these tribesmen. And the tribesman says, "There it is." And he looks around and he points at this herb. So the photographer then goes, "Well, I don't understand how you could tell the difference between that herb and all the other bush around." He said, when he looked at it, it practically was identical. So he said to the guy, "How do you know that that's the thing that you need?" And the guy said to him, "Well, it sings to me. It sings to me." And that was, of course, the most preposterous thing this guy's ever heard in his life. The plant singing to you? What are you talking about? I mean, it's completely foreign idea to the average Western ear. But, of course, the guy was deadly serious. And there's something really profound about that connectedness with your environment, and that connectedness that happens with that deeper level of listening, that deeper level of self-listening, that deeper level of self-knowing, that allows a more profound connection to happen with not only those environmentally, those things and those environmental factors around us, but the people around us as well. So I really feel that the listening deeper is a really important aspect of really knowing what's going on with us, and of course what's going on with everything around us. What are we experiencing in this period of time right now? What is actually happening for us at this present moment? So there's something that's very powerful about that I want to take us through in the meditation a little bit later. But what does that even mean contextually in terms of listening to ourselves? Listening to each other comes, of course, as a byproduct of listening to ourselves. We can actively listen. We can bring an intention to be open, but that degree of openness doesn't just happen by itself, right? That degree of openness has to happen. If we can't hold space for ourselves, in other words, how can we hold space for another person? So not only do we need to listen deeper, but I think we need to empty ourselves of ourselves. And a good example of being full is when I was taking my son. I mean, he's 14 now, and he plays the guitar, and he's absolutely fantastic at playing the guitar. For me, it's like listening to an angel playing the harp. You know what I'm saying? It's really, it's really a beautiful thing to experience as a parent. But it wasn't always the case. And when he was younger, I started him out on the piano, and I was adamant he should play the piano. So one day we were driving on the motorway in the M25, which is a popular motorway in London, or around London. And, as I'm driving, the car is humming along, and he's happily in his back seat. And, he catches my eye in the mirror, and he says, "Dad," he says, "can I ask you a question?" "Yeah, of course you can, son." He said, "Why is it you and Mum forced me to play the piano when I knew I wanted to play guitar?" He knew from a very young age that he wanted to play guitar. But of course, I was so full of my own projections. I was so full of my own wishes for him, based on my wishes for myself, or perhaps even regrets, that I should project onto him something that he already knew was not something he wanted to do. So what I'm saying is, with me being full, not only by the distractions of my own projections, but also my presumptuousness, what I'm carrying this determination, which is inherently flawed because other people also have a voice speaking inside. So to create that spaciousness, emptying ourselves of ourselves, I think is another fundamental thing we want to take into 2021, reminding ourselves of the value of the spaciousness that comes inside of us, which maybe I would say allows us to step back from those projections, allows us to step back from forcing our wishes onto others, or maybe hearing things that aren't really there. The other thing that I wanted to mention that, I think is a really powerful thing for us to take into 2021 is building that bridge of self-compassion, because building that bridge of self-compassion is just a compassionate bridge to others as well. And one of my heroes, Nelson Mandela, his prison guard, a man called Christo Brand, he actually had a very turbulent relationship with him at first, because Christo Brand, as a prison officer, had these ideas that Nelson Mandela was, of course, a terrorist and this a person who had all of these things. He should be angry with him. But one day, uh, Nelson Mandela was visited by his wife, and she brought their granddaughter. Now, Nelson Mandela wasn't able to hold this baby, and he begged Christo Brand, please, can I see the daughter? And Christo Brand said, of course, no, the granddaughter. And Christo Brand, of course, said, no, I can't do that. It'll be ridiculous. I'll lose my job. And he rejected it out of hand. But he actually, for a moment of reflection, put himself in the shoes of this old man, this man who he started to feel this degree of empathy and compassion for. That when all the prison guards were turned, their backs were turned, he actually snuck Willie Mandela in and allowed Nelson Mandela to hold his granddaughter for the first time. And, he actually couldn't see, or hadn't ever seen, his granddaughter or touched even a child in over 20 years. And it brought tears to his eyes. And Christo Brand said it brought tears to his eyes, seeing Nelson Mandela embrace his granddaughter for the first time. So there is something really powerful about this bridge of compassion that is built when we're able to really extend that degree of empathy to another human being and put ourselves in their shoes. So these three things are very simple but gentle reminders for us moving into 2021 in the space of community, being able to listen to each other, being able to listen deeper, but not just listening deeper, being able to empty ourselves of ourselves. Because when we're full, we can't create space for ourselves, and we can't create space for anyone else. And then, of course, we can't build that bridge of compassion to connect with anyone in our lives if we're not compassionate towards ourselves. So these are three things I want to remind us of as compassionate people ourselves, and people aspiring to be better and to be closer and to be stronger and more impactful in the way that we live. And actually, really, I mean, this all ties together and underlines a fundamental point, really, to me, that we all have an inner voice speaking. I like to call the inner narrator. And that inner narrator is speaking all the time and is speaking in a way that's unique. And the same is the case for other people as well. And once we remember these small little components that help us to bring that degree of presence that comes with emptying ourselves and helps us to listen deeper, then we are able to build that bridge of compassion with people around us, our family, our friends, and especially ourselves. And these are the three things I actually want to focus on in the meditation I'm going to lead now for a few minutes to really just help us, one, orient ourselves by listening deeper, two, emptying ourselves by getting into the present moment and giving ourselves a healthy dose of self-compassion as we see 2021 in. Before I do that, I'm just going to read a poem that I recently wrote, and then I'm going to lead us into the meditation. This poem is actually called The Inner Narrator. There is no differentiation between you and me, except that you make it so. I speak even when you don't listen. I speak wherever you go. When fires rage in the south, my voice rings out in silence. I am speaking all the time, though it may be hard for some to describe it. When old neighbors squabble and wars appear, I am there, speaking inside you. When leaders of nations cause you despair, you and I remain undivided. When storms flood lands and torrents pour from your eyes, I am at the center of it all. That voice. I am your narrator, speaking inside, sitting behind a chorus of noise. Listen to me. I am here. It is true. I am your inner narrator. Listen deeper, and you'll find me. You'll see that I'm you. That poem is called The Inner Narrator. And I was really inspired by the events of 2020 and how it can really deafen us sometimes to that listening deeper, listening to that inner voice, listening to ourselves. So I'd like to actually invite us now to take a little meditation, 10 minutes or so. Whenever you are ready, however you are, wherever you're sat, get yourself comfortable, and you can close your eyes if you like, or you can keep them open in a gentle gaze. And I'm just going to run a timer of 10 minutes. Wherever you are, however you are sat or lying down or positioned, I'd just like you to just pay attention to anything that might be present for you right now, internally, whatever that is. What's going on? Where are you? What are you experiencing right now? As you notice what's happening for you right now, orienting yourself, listening deeper. You may be noticing your own breath now at this point, as your attention sharpens. Noticing the natural rhythm of the breath without changing anything at all. You may notice the temperature of the air as you breathe in, brushing past your top lip and into the nostrils. And as you exhale, just notice the temperature of the air as you exhale. You may notice it's a little bit warmer as you exhale. Start to pay attention now to anything that might be present for you in your body, wherever that might be. Just allowing your attention to settle on anything that might be coming into your field of awareness right now. It might be tension, It might be pressure from your sitting or lying down. It might be a temperature variation. It could be some degree of comfort. Anything at all present for you in your body. Just noticing where that is without trying to change anything. As you're aware now of anything present for you, just allow that to continue doing whatever it wants to do without you deliberately trying to do anything to it. Sweeping your entire body in your mind. I'd like to invite you now, if you're in a position to do so, to place your hand on your chest, in your heart area. Just feel the natural beating rhythm of the heart. As we move into 2021, I'd like you to think about what it is that you need to support yourself moving into the new year. There's no right or wrong answer. What support do you need for yourself in this new year of opportunity? Maybe you want to be kind to yourself. In that case, bring that into your field of consciousness. Maybe you want to forgive yourself. Maybe you want to let something go. Anything that might be coming up for you right now, just gently wrapping that in a warm, safe place. Knowing that you are supported. If you need to be more loving, kinder to yourself, whatever you need to do for 2021. As you bring these things to mind, reminding yourself that self-compassion is exactly the thing that allows you to display compassion to others. and you are capable of providing it for yourself at any time. Bringing your attention back to the breath now. Noticing the natural rising and falling of the chest. Noticing the belly expanding as you inhale, filling the body with life force. You may begin to notice a feeling of gratitude for the opportunity to connect with your breath in this moment, for the opportunity to listen deeper right now, for the opportunity to empty yourself by connecting with the present moment, and to bring that extra degree of self-compassion as we move into the year 2021 as part of this wonderful community. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and welcome yourself back into the room. And that brings us to the end of this session. But I just want to finish by thanking you for participating in that, and to remember that, you know, we all have the opportunity to reconnect with that voice inside, that true narrator, the inner narrator. And if we just listen to ourselves a bit more, then we can certainly listen to each other.
Wow, wonderful. I'm not sure if how can they get in touch with you and do kind of classes with you and learn from you? Have you got any?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my website is calvinniles.com. I'm also on Facebook, so you just need to Google Calvin Niles or search Calvin Niles on Facebook. Calvin Niles Official is my page. Calvin Niles on Instagram. So any of those channels. Calvin Niles on LinkedIn. Pretty simple, really. But no, I mean, please do connect with me in any of those ways that you feel is better for you, however you prefer to engage.
Yeah.
And I'll be delighted to engage with you further.
Wonderful. And I think you do a video, like a story-based video every week. Is that right?
Yeah, so every week on YouTube, I release a video. So please head over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel.
What's it called, your channel on YouTube?
Let me think.
Calvin Niles Unofficial.
Try Calvin Niles. You can't miss me.
Okay. And the book club thing, is that just with for the Teach Mindfulness community, or is it for everyone?
No, it's for anybody. So yeah,
that'd be amazing to share that too.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, so I'm starting a book club. So I was having a really good organic conversation with Shamash last week, and then one thing led to another, and I ended up starting a book club. So it's called Soar, and it's really, I mean, I've taken creative license with the name, Stories of Awakening for Readers like us, and it's really a intimate community that I want to create starting in January the 12th. You can go on Eventbrite and literally type in SOAR Book Club, SOAR, and you will be able to find it. And I'd be happy to welcome anybody who wants to join. It's completely free, and we're going to be focusing on spiritual fiction books, and we're just going to talk about them in the book club and take inspiration and connect with each other. Anybody, anywhere around the world, you can find more SOAR Book Club on Eventbrite, or you can even go to calvinniles.com/SOAR Book Club.
And I think there's quite a few people joining up every day on the Facebook private group, which is not called Calvin Niles, it's called Saw Book Club, right?
Yeah, SOAR Book Club. If you look for SOAR Book Club on Facebook, you'll see the group, and I'll happily admit you. Just make a request, and I'll happily admit you. SOAR Book Club, SOAR Book Club on Facebook. Come on in.